Stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll
Brad
call.
Bassick, Ed Repay,
Here.
Joe Skavarik, Nicole Kelly,
Here.
Jen Wilson,
Here.
Irene Morellis,
Here.
Carly Morris,
Here.
Olivia Hughes,
Here.
Christian Bartholomew,
Here.
Robin Arvanitis.
Here.
Next up is our approval of the minutes from the July 7th, 2026 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Approval of donations. We've got several monetary donations. Christian, do I need to go through all these?
They're stated in the agenda, so if
I'll
you
hit
don't want to read them in particular, you
I'll
can
hit
go
'em.
for-
I'll hit them quickly. The following people have made monetary donations. Caleb Johnson Law LLC, $200. Dyer Construction, $1,000. Nice Engineering, $1,500. Rex Construction, $1,000. Structure Point, $1,000. And Milestone, $500. There are also several candy donations that were made. Caleb Johnson Law LLC, $50. Schererville Firefighters Union Local 4279, $322.24. Crossroads Animal Hospital, $40. Schererville Red Robin, $25. Phyllis Gabbert, $15. Dylan Myers at Chevrolet of Maryville, $25. GFWC Northwest Indiana Women's Club, $40. My Dolly is Unique, $20. Mom Magical
Monstrosities.
Monstrosities. So that's how you spell monstrosities, huh? They donated $25. The Doghouse, $35. Anytime Fitness, $50. And Marouche Check Appliances for $100. Can I get a motion to accept those, I guess, donations?
Motion to accept those donations?
And I will second that.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Correspondence?
No correspondence.
None. The reports from staff.
Hello. I just wanted to mention the two main August events we have coming up. I gave you guys some flyers. This Saturday we have Touch a Truck, which we will have a helicopter at courtesy of the Firefighters Union because we had to move Hocus Pocus inside. We're still using that and we'll still give recognition and we are quite excited about that. And then we also have Boots and Brews coming up August 29th. This is a country line dancing event. We are still accepting sponsorships and craft vendors, but we are expecting a good turnout and are quite excited.
Thank you.
So I put this chart in here. I gave it to you guys after the fact, so might not be in the same spot. But it is a breakdown of the spring-summer concession revenue so far compared to last year's. We are doing significantly better than we did last year. We have already made what we made all of last year, and this is just for spring and summer. I did not include any expenses just yet, just because I can't for sure say that the Skittles that I bought were for girls softball versus a tournament. So I do put all that in at the end once we are done with fall. The only thing that is not included in the spring-summer breakdown would be the ASA USA tournament, which we are having this weekend. So we will have an actual final number of what we've made so far after this weekend.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, I don't have numbers for community center or picnic shelters. I will definitely have those for you next meeting. Or I can email them to you as well.
Either one is fine. Thank you.
I don't have much right now, but we are in the process of hiring a new programs coordinator, so we think we have found someone. I will give you more updates next meeting on that, just as long as everything goes through, and so we're really happy. The department's doing a lot, so much better now. Yeah, so. Oh, one thing I thought maybe Olivia would want to talk about, the Hocus Pocus is normally outside, and we have the helicopter candy drop. Unfortunately, with the weather and everything else, it had to get moved indoors, so I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we were a bit disappointed that we had to reschedule it and then move it indoors. For what it was, though, all things considered, it did go very, very well. We got a good response from both vendors and attendees. Overall, everyone did very well. We had this year, for the first time, we had the Sanderson sisters come and perform, so that was the highlight of the evening. But overall, it went very well. Everyone had fun, and I think it was the best it could have been for the circumstances.
Considering it got moved twice and then had to come indoors, you guys did a heck of a job.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Nice job.
Was this the first movie out that you did indoors, the outside movies that you did indoors?
For that event, yes.
Okay.
We have done others sporadically here and there, but I mean, this was different because there was a free helicopter candy drop, so we had to kind of like pivot and figure out how we were gonna get this candy to these kids without like throwing it at them, but yeah, Olivia did a great job. So.
Yeah, we had them, Carly was nice enough to buy the like white paper bags, and we had all the kids decorate them and fill them with candy and play games, and I think it was very fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely family oriented, so.
It's nice to have options with our crazy weather.
Right,
So
right.
that's great.
Yeah.
Way to pivot
Okay.
Twice.
twice.
All good?
Yep, we're all
All right,
done.
we'll move
Thank
on
you.
to old business. The Schererville firefighters union proposal.
So I'm just going to say that we just had an hour-long study session to discuss this in extreme detail, going back and forth and trying to figure out a solution. And there's a lot of legalese involved in this, so I am going to defer to Christian to kind of explain the legalities of the situation.
Yeah, so I'll echo that sentiment. We just want everybody to know that the board did not consider this lightly. We really looked at it from every angle. But at the end of the day, we are a public body that is subject to public contracting laws and the bidding laws. And we put out an RFP, and we got a response to that and formalized it in a contract. The activity occurred, and the outcome was unfortunate for the vendor, and nobody's pleased by that fact. The request that we received was essentially to modify the payment terms under the contract such that they would be a little bit more favorable to the firefighters union so that they would not incur a loss on this activity. And you can call me the bad guy, I guess. I looked legally at this at pretty much every way that I could, and the result of that was simply that we're legally obligated to follow through with the terms of the contract that was a result of that bidding process. If we were to modify the terms of that contract after the fact, I know we only had one response to the RFP, but we could have had 50, and that would fundamentally alter the nature of the competitive bidding that we chose to engage in for this process. So simply put, I don't think that there's a legal solution to to the loss that the vendor incurred here that the park board can do anything about, and nobody's happy about that. We feel like we're stuck with the terms of the contract that we formally entered into. And we can say that, you know, in following years, as legal counsel, I'm going to work with the board to take a very close look at our procedures, at the contracts that we use, at the request for proposal that we use, to try to avoid this situation coming up again, because it's a bad outcome, and as I've said, nobody likes it. But as counsel for the board, I feel like our hands are tied here, because we also can't violate our obligations to the public by changing contracts after the fact. So, with that being said, that's the legal position of the board. I think they can confirm, and if the contract remains in place, that would mean that the payment terms thereunder would have to be abided by, and we would definitely like to keep an open dialogue with the union and any other vendors about making this better next year, and ensuring that we don't get an outcome like this. But we're kind of stuck.
Thank you, Christian.
Any other old business from the park board? Oh.
Hi, Colin Zakovic. I'm with Schererville Firefighters Union. I'm vice president. Totally understand. I get it, like legal standing. I did watch the whole hour-long study session. So any questions? Like, because I heard some come up about like, oh, hey, there was like a misunderstanding, or you weren't sure on our end. And did anybody have questions of like how we got to our number and stuff like that?
I think we figured out how you got your number.
Okay.
Oh, there was a couple things. You didn't include the tips, correct?
Yes. Correct. So we don't
Okay.
include the tips because that's obviously what people are giving us on the side.
Right.
Yeah,
Good.
and all tips are automatically calculated into what we're giving the like Project Fire Buddy, the 5 charities. That being said, I heard somebody asking like, okay, well here, how do they determine that amount? Usually after so many days, like I think last year we had like over like $4,000 in tips, or close to, or somewhere in that. I got to look at my numbers. But usually how we do that is we sit there and say, hey, as days are going by, like, and we're doing, you know, tip wise and stuff like that, trying to figure that, you know, seeing what we're bringing in, we kind of say, okay, hey, usually we do like 1,000 per charity, so $5,000. That never comes out of your guys' end. That comes out of our profits after we figure out how much we've made. So that was not factored into the proposal, into the numbers that I gave you guys. That's always off our end. Or reason why I added in there was just to kind of show, hey, here's how the whole picture is going to look for the end of us, because we're not going to change what we give these charities. Like we handpick those charities. We all vote on them at our meeting, saying here's why we're going to do these. Here's why we're doing it, and you know what they stand for, and that's how we pick it. And then it's a, hey, how are things going throughout the night? How are tips coming in? Because we're not going to go and give, you know, $3,000 to each one, and then we end up making nothing. Right. You know, this is kind of our main fundraiser. Last year we added on the golf outing. This year we have the golf outing too. But like I said, that golf outing also gives money towards Project Fire Buddies, Hoosier Burn Camp again, because that's a very at-home, hits close to home charity. And then Logan's Love, that one really hits close to us because it was right in our backyard, like, and Logan's family lives nearby and everything else like that. So that's where the donations come from. It's a kind of a predetermined number. And, you know, kind of talk to everybody, you know, as I was drawing up these numbers, being like, hey, how much do we want to give to each one of these charities? We go off of that. So like I said, that comes out of our profit end, not what we factor into the town for everything. So
Thank you.
And then my other question, I know we were kind of talking a little bit about this. I know we ask you to get bathrooms.
Yes.
Do you guys get bathrooms because it's in the RFP, like
It has been in the RFP for I don't know how long. Mind you, I took this over about 4 years, 3.5, 4 years ago from Aaron Anderson, who retired. Bathrooms have always been in the RFP. This year it was not. I even went up and asked, I was like, hey, bathrooms aren't in here, or is that no longer a thing? I was told, hey, still get bathrooms for you guys. And it's always been 4. So, because I looked at the old request for proposals, because I keep them all, it's always been 4. We use 2 of them for our personnel so that they're not having to go out to the public and use those. And who knows how those look after 5 days. And I know they clean them every day, but so 2 of them are for ours. 2 of them, they just end up getting put over usually on the other end of the beer garden tent so that it's for public use. So essentially 2 of them for us, 2 of them are for everybody else to use. I think the reason why that was instituted was because of how the old layout was. The beer garden was separate from everything else. It was a 21 and over section. So I think that's why there's 4 before. Like I said, it is what it is with that. I would want to make sure that we always have 2 anyway for ourselves.
Okay.
So it's not the end of the world with that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Colin, thank you for explaining all
No
of that
problem.
to us, and we just hope you understand.
No, yeah,
Nobody
totally.
up here is happy
No, yeah.
with how this has played out.
I mean, like I said,
Respect you guys, we admire you guys, we're
Right.
thankful for the great job that you
Yeah.
do in the beer garden for us every year and for our town.
yeah.
So I legally,
No.
Our
and
hands are tied.
Like Christian said, if we can work at it a little bit more, I do want to make sure that there is that separation of that. There's the fire department and there's the firefighters union. Because I don't want like the town entity being brought into that problem. So like in future, like Chief Patterson, Chief Meyer, they're there for the safety aspect of it. We're there as the vendor. So I just want to keep that separate, just so that they're not getting pulled into things and being asked questions that they don't know about and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
alrighty,
Thank you very much, Colin.
no problem. Thank you.
Colin.
Thank you.
Any other old business from the park board? Seeing, hearing none. New business. Okay, consider approval of Reeder Park, LC Buccaneers, which you should have in your packet. Is there, oh, there's someone here. Hi, if you could just state your name.
Sure.
For the record.
My name is Ria Ali. I am the Lake Central Pop Warner president. Oh, sorry.
There we go.
A little shorter than he is. My name is Ria. I currently reside in St. John, Indiana. I'm the Lake Central Pop Warner president. We are a nonprofit youth organization that provides cheer and football for kiddos 5 to 12. Do you want me to go into my whole proposal? Sure.
If you'd like.
Okay. So I'm sure most of you have seen, what was it? Probably about a month ago, we lost one of our cheerleaders to a tragic accident alongside with her grandma. She was very near and dear to our hearts. Kathleen was one of her coaches, and again, sorry, try not to cry. We are trying to honor her memory and trying to keep her spirit alive. She was going to be one of our cheerleaders this year again. And we're proposing a 5K to raise funds for a scholarship that we started in her name. The scholarship will be to fund cheerleaders in the future whose parents may not be able to afford it or who just exemplify the cheer spirit like she had. But again, instead of hitting up our parents and kind of taking funds from our nonprofit organization that we already kind of struggle to keep afloat, we decided to maybe do an annual 5K to help raise funds. In that way, the event would be held at Reeder Park, hopefully. We would charge a participation fee. Part of that fee would go to pay for a shirt for each participant, and the remainder of the funds would go towards the scholarship. That again, part of it would go towards the scholarship, part would go back to her brother and sister. She was a twin, so she left behind a sister and an older brother. And then
Is it working again?
And then a small percentage would go back to Lake Central Pop Warner to keep our athletes afloat and keep our organization being able to hand out scholarships and all that for those families that are struggling to pay for registration costs. Because our goal with our organization as a whole is to keep athletes playing, regardless of their family's ability to pay for registration costs and any kind of costs that are incurred with playing sports nowadays. Yeah, I don't know. You guys have any questions?
I guess how far are you in the process of getting all of this filled out and dealing with the police department, public works?
We have a meeting set with them actually next week to speak logistics with them about road closures and all the legal aspects of it. I hope to have everything finalized probably within the next week or two. We are working, Kathleen's an attorney as well, so we're working with her partners and people that she knows to see who we can hire to form trusts and make this as legal as possible and make sure that it continues on long after our kids have aged out of Pop Warner. Because like I said, one of the biggest things that her mom was worried about is that people are going to forget her. And this is one of our ways to try to honor her memory for many years to come. And like her mom said, I hope we're doing this in 20 years.
Okay. Any other?
Go ahead.
All right, I would like to make a motion to approve the event. Christian? Yes, no?
Well, do we have all of the information that we need on the application at this point, I guess would be my question, because you, like the dates and things like that are all still open, is that right?
We have talked to someone about setting it for September 26th.
It's in their, the date is in their letter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the letter.
packet.
Yeah, I submitted a letter with for the proposal. The park stated that reader was available for September 26th, which works for us. That gives, her mom was severely injured in the accident and had to have reconstructive surgery. So that gives her mom ample time to recover and be able to participate along with her sister who suffered injuries.
Okay. Sounds fine.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so motion stands to approve the event? Okay.
I will second that.
Motion and a second? Any questions?
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
I
you. We're
hope
sorry
we-
for your loss.
Thank you. Hopefully we get to do this every year with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And motion carries 3-0. Next up is a consider approval of a donation request, Lake County Public Library.
So me and Kristen got this email. The Lake County Public Library is looking for gift baskets or gift cards, things like that for their raffle. We cannot give them that type, but I know me and Kristen were talking about a shelter rental.
A
Go ahead,
shelter
you can talk
rental.
about it.
Yeah,
For next year,
good idea.
Similar like when we do for,
the St. Mike's
right.
fundraiser.
I know we've done
so
shelters,
yeah,
we've
but
done dog
if you have any other ideas, yes.
park memberships. we've done-
Correct, yeah, so we thought we could give them either a membership or free rental, and they can auction that off.
Yeah.
Does that require?
You don't need us to,
No, No, we were just going with the shelter rental unless you want to go a different route.
I'm fine with that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, why don't you have a motion then, if that's the idea?
All right.
I will make a motion to approve a shelter rental donation to the Lake County Public Library.
And I will second that.
That shelter donation be in 2027?
2027, yes.
There's a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. What do we got here? Consider approval of a new instructor agreement.
So this is another thing myself and Kristen have been working on. We have is it a resident or non-resident? It's a person, she's coming in and she has been hosting classes for, is she doing yoga or?
It's a bar fitness
Bar,
class.
yeah. So we noticed that they've been becoming more regularly. You know, she was only doing it once a month. So we talked about getting her under an agreement, just so, for one, she can roll over her deposit, and then for two, she is charging residents. So we thought that the rate of $30 for that hour for that room, with her charging outside people, was kind of, it should fall under an agreement. So we wrote this up. If you want to briefly look at it, we have $60 per hour for the rental. Instead of doing a percentage of her participants, because then that's more legwork for us in a sense where now we need to see your roster, we need to know how many people you had. So we thought if we did a flat fee, it would just be easier on everybody.
Oh, before it was per head. I'm sorry.
Say that again?
Before she was just renting our cardio room on like Saturday mornings
Okay.
and having this class. But that presents with her charging, it presents a conflict of interest because we have our own fitness classes with
Okay.
instructors that we have contracts with.
Okay.
So we came up with this one
For her.
for her.
Okay.
And I have other people now calling to like possibly rent the cardio room for their fitness class. So since we were getting more traction with that, we wanted to make sure that we weren't falling within a conflict of interest.
So this is where where you guys have it, you kind of orchestrate that in the classes. This would be, you're just renting the room, you go get your own people, you
Correct.
set the hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Got
So
it. So more of like an independent contractor.
yes, so kind of not the same, but similar to how we did with church, how we used to have them, but they were every Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, we just thought that this would protect both us and them,
Okay.
putting her in a contract.
Is this a standard form kind of contract that you guys have used before?
It's similar. I tweaked a lot, added some things. So, but being that, you know, it's a class, it's an instructor, we wanted to bring this to the board to review.
And I don't want to impose any more expenses on anyone, but is this insured
No.
as a independent contractor?
Yes, yeah, so there's no other, I guess, outside expenses.
Like, are you requiring instructors to have their own insurance? I
Yes.
think is probably,
Yes, so it talks about that.
I couldn't find it anywhere. I see in 7, there's a whole harmless clause, but
oh wait, provide proof of insurance with the following
Oh,
verbiage
yes, number
added
4.
we're at.
in- okay,
Where is that at, Jen?
4 at the bottom
Oh.
here.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Verbiage added in-
And then I have number 5 stating that they're an independent business owner and they're not an employee related to the town of Schererville at all.
Christian, is this for us, or is it for the town?
It's a rental agreement in essence.
So I
Is
guess-
the cardio room managed by parks, like you rent out other, you know?
Yes, anyone can come in and rent the room. I
I
guess
know-
the only difference is, I don't know what other type of rentals you've had in there.
Previously, I had a rental. It was for, it was like they wanted to practice a dance that they were doing for a quinceañera.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily like an instructor coming in and teaching. It was just kids practicing for an event that had an end date. So that's similar to what previous rentals we would have. So.
Yeah, because we don't get like party rentals or anything like
No,
that.
we can't put like parties in there because we can't put like tables and chairs on that floor because it's the TerraFlex floor. So we can't have all that weight on those. So we don't really rent it. We do not rent it for parties.
Right.
Is there any standard rental rate for the room? Have you ever rented it out before?
Yeah, so we have, it's $30 per hour for residents, and I believe it's $45 for non, plus tax and a security deposit. If they
For
want-
individuals?
For personal use.
For personal use,
Okay.
yes.
And how many people would be, I know there's a max on here, 34 participants. Do you anticipate the classes would be about that size, or?
Her last class had about 25 people,
Oh, my God.
Wow.
so.
Right.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, so.
So in essence, this is a room rental like any other. The only difference is she's going to be having a class there.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Does,
And she's making money off
She's
of.
charging.
Yes, she's
Right.
charging.
That
for
was
her
kind of what
participants.
caused.
That's probably the
Yes.
big difference
Right.
too, right?
have you had anybody else that rents the rooms for activities where they charge for them?
No, but since her name is Elizabeth, since Elizabeth has come, I think word is spreading, because I do have another, lady that emailed me wanting to have her class there. So we haven't had it before, so this is kind of uncharted territory that we're in. So that's why we wanted to make this contract, so we would be
Oh.
protected, I guess.
See, this
I don't know. I don't know if she has a waiver.
doesn't read like an
Yeah.
independent contractor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't. It
insurance,
sounds
at
like
least
you're-
she's insured, so
like
that
my
kind of
hire
covers it, but
her.
Yeah.
I think it
also
needs
just for
some-
the people that's
Yeah,
coming, they
some-
should
some
sign a
work.
waiver for sure.
Right.
Maybe that should be in here.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that, like, participants must sign
A waiver, yeah.
waiver with the instructor. I think it,
Because we don't
I
do
would think
anything else. We
hers-
just provide the room.
yeah,
We don't do
I would
anything
think
else for her.
hers. Yeah,
Right.
so would the waiver, participants should sign a waiver. I mean, usually when you take an exercise class, you have that, but would it
Yeah, I
be
mean,
hers or ours? I
You've
guess?
got kind of two tiers of what would be going on here. So this agreement has a hold harmless, but that is, that pertains to the instructor who would be signing this. On the other hand, you could have an individual participating in the class, and they haven't agreed to hold anybody harmless, and you know, I don't know, a light falls on their head or something
Or
like that.
your special floor sprained my ankle.
Yeah, so I do think if we do this, we're probably going to need some form of waiver agreement that's signed by the individuals. Another question, I guess, would be, does she run this through an LLC or some sort of business entity, or is she doing it as an individual?
I believe it's an individual. I don't for sure know the answer to that. I can ask her and get back to you, but I believe it's individual.
Okay. I think I'd like to pick through it a little bit, and I guess in principle I don't have a problem with it, but I'd like to just make sure that, especially with regard to the hold harmless language and everything, that it's fleshed out like it should be. I know there was, if you look at number 2, Parks does hereby contract with instructor to provide instruction and supervision. That sounds like an agreement with her to provide services to the town,
Okay.
as opposed to
Renting a room.
just renting a room. So I think we can work on this and find a way to make it work.
Okay.
I don't know if it's quite ready for today, though.
Okay.
But I agree with the concept of it. I just think, yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a great idea. Yep.
at least for now, until if it really starts booming.
Right, right. I mean,
200 people outside with
Yeah.
coffee in their hands.
well, she's not doing it every week. Like, our instructor-based classes are normally a session every week. I think she's doing it more sporadically.
I think it would just come, and it's just thinking ahead, and I hope it does. I hope it works out really well for her. But then if there becomes extra wear and tear on the room, is this
Yes.
$50 a room gonna, be enough? And just stuff like that to think about. But I
Right.
think for now, I think that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Any other new business from the park board?
I have a request. If you ladies could help us out a little bit, in the future, when we get the agenda for the meetings, if you could include as much of this stuff that we have to approve, reports if you have them done, if you could send that so that we have a chance to look at it. It's kind of fast and furious, we get in here, we're trying to look it over, and we would just like a little extra time to review everything.
Yeah,
If
that's fine.
possible. I know stuff comes up at the last minute, you're gonna get applications at the last minute, you might not have the report done, in time.
Yeah.
That is all understandable.
Yeah.
So what you have, if you could include it, that would be great.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
If you do have a contract or something like that you'd like us to consider, I would recommend just email that over to me as soon as you've got it ready, so that I can hit the ground running.
Okay.
And sometimes I can make the revisions and have everything prepared and streamlined before we present it at the meeting, so we can do it as a one and done.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other business from the floor? Seeing and hearing none?
Motion to adjourn.
I will second that motion.
Second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.